G'day, fellas. And welcome to the semi-finals, game number 1 of Outback Octagon number 4. You'll have to excuse us, we're a little bit late today. Somebody didn't tell me that the guys had started already. Yeah, we were having a good chat and everybody was in the game having fun. It's all right. We'll forgive them for now. But if it happens again, the whip will come out. Be aware. Be alert. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Mega Random. Today, oh, it's a party. Oh, who's this? It's got to be who I think. Yeah, it's got to be who I thought it was. I don't know how he does it, man. I don't know how he does it every single game. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. This is Mega Random, and it's, well, we've got some good spawns, we've got some great spawns, and we've got some not so good spawns today. A lot of players in this central location. Oh, let's get to it. Let's introduce our players because this is where it begins to really matter. The semi-finals. Let's talk about it. Spawning in the north of the map, in the color purple, playing as the Golden Horde. It's Lucifer on 7. To his south, in the color yellow, playing as the Rus. It's Beastie. To his south, in the color pink, barely a screen away, as the Tughlag Dynasty. It's Wham 01. To his west, barely a screen away again, playing as the Delhi Sultanate, it's Marine Lord. To his south, in the color blue, playing as the French Vortex. To their east, in the color cyan, light blue, teal, playing as the Knights Templar. We'll have to make sure he's not aging up. Oh, I think he's aging up. Hold on a minute. Click the button. Wrong button. Down here. Okay. Oh, he's not aging up yet. Okay, we're all right. We have to do that basically because he's playing the Knights Templar, and the Knights Templar, if we watch them age up, or if we use this AI, well, the AI, if we use this UI while he's aging up, it will crash the game. So we'll keep an eye out on him. But anyway, yeah, it's Baltoon. It's Baltoon. And to his east, playing in the color orange, as the Ayyubids, it's CSO. And then finally, in the south of the map, in the color green, playing as the Macedonian Dynasty as well. Ladies and gentlemen, a favorite for this event, it's Corvinus 1. Welcome to Outback Octagon number 4. Welcome to semi-finals number 1. Age up on the way here for Baltoon, going with the Hospitaller Knights. Let's take a look at the scoreboard and see. Let's actually switch as well. We'll switch perspective just to make sure. Let's take a look at the scoreboard and see where we are currently at, because this game is incredibly important. This right here is our leaderboard. And one thing that you'll note is the players on the right have all been eliminated. These players, don't worry about them. Players on the left, they are in contention for the grand finals. The way it works is simple. They took all the points with them from the first 4 stages, or first 4 rounds, and we've halved them. So it means Corvinus 1's gone from 56 points down to 28. I think it was actually on 57. And Kiljadi from 14 points down to 7. And the reason why we do this is so that the semi-final games matter more. All of the points are still going to be the same that are awarded. The only difference here is that these points are more meaningful. So that's essentially where we're at right now. There's obviously a lot of good players in this lobby, so it's important that everybody performs well. Let's take a look and see at how the age ups are going. We're going to switch over our UI once again. We should be clear of this threat. Indeed, we are. No scar error, no fatal scar error. Oh man, this is not the type of spawn players want to see when it comes to the semi-finals, right? Like, semi-finals typically are a bit more high stakes, so you often see players a little bit more conservative. But I suspect this type of game is going to be a quick one. Why is that? That is because we have got an absolute fiesta in the middle. So let's take a look. Who's going to be our first player kicked out this game? I suspect it's probably going to be Wham, just because he's in the middle of everybody, literally borders 5 people. But in saying that, there's always a risk that it could be somebody else, because Wham, while it technically borders 5 people, there's nobody on the outside that's looking at him as a potential target. Meanwhile, for winner of this game, this is actually a bit of a tough one. Normally, you'd be tempted to say, okay, well, look at the spawn that we've got here for Corvinus. He is isolated, he knows that, but one thing to note, he doesn't have access to water. And what's a really key component whenever you want to try and pick up early kills? You want to have tempo, and water's going to provide that tempo. So, unfortunately, I'm not going to go with Corvinus 1 here. I actually think Lucifer on 7 is probably going to take this game. And that's because not only does he have the Golden Horde, not only does he have isolation and access to these players in the middle, he's also got access to fishing. And I think that key distinction is what makes this position a particularly strong one for him. So we'll keep an eye out on how these players are going. You can see at the moment we've got a whole bunch of fishing in the river, something that we often see. And can I just also shout out to the devs right now, because this is a beautiful biome that we've got right here. I love this biome. I think this is one of the new ones. It might be called is it Tropical Swamp? I want to say Tropical Swamp. Let me double check and see. Tropical Rainforest. Okay, never mind. So apologies for that. But yes, we have got ourselves a tropical rainforest right here. Age up starting to come through though. Let's check in and see how they're going. We got School of Cavalry for Vortex. No real surprises right here. He's got a bit of a maze behind him, so that could be something. I want to make sure. Actually, I need to make sure. Actually, I think that the admins behind the scene, if we're a little bit ahead on our chat here, they'll be sure to fix this up. And we've got a potential wall in happening in on this bottom side for Marine Lord. I don't know what this is all about. I suspect he's probably not going to be moving the king back here at this early stage, but the chat is beginning between these two. I have CSO and Vortex here. Kill Corv and Lucy for runaway corner, please. Oh gosh, I love it. Runaway corner. I don't think I've ever heard of that, but look, it makes sense. It makes sense. I'm not going to throw my 2 cents in just yet, though. Let's put it that way. All right, more age ups coming through. Let's check in with each player and see what they're going into. Dome of the Faith here for Marine Lord. So looking to get a little bit religious. Kremlin coming down for Beastie. Bit of an interesting position here as well for Beastie, just because he's obviously towards the edge of the map. I was a little bit curious, thinking, okay, why doesn't he maybe think about coming across the river? It could be a decent endeavor. If we take a look at his perspective, he doesn't really see much other than his nearest neighbors. And he knows, okay, this is going to be problematic. This is not going to be easy. I've got 2 people around me. That's all the information that he's really got at the moment. So we'll watch and see how he plays it out. Meanwhile, to his south, another Dome of the Faith coming through for Wham. Our Knights Templar player obviously going up with the Hospitaller Knights. Our House of Wisdom starting off with the Eco Wing, so probably moving in for, I'm suspecting, those 3 villages to start off with, just because he's got slightly higher vill count than Wham. And then going up for the Castle Age through Logistics. And speaking of Castle Age, Baltoon already arriving in the Castle Age, going very, very quickly. What's he gone for? It looks like he's gone for the standard Angevin Empire. Meanwhile, up towards the north, how are we doing on the Golden Horde? We've gone into Khan and Torgoods. Age up probably going to be coming through shortly, though he's still got quite a few resources that he needs to gather. No real units coming out. And I think in a game like this is where you're really going to see Spearmen be quite strong, just because of the proximity to other players. Meanwhile, towards the south, Corvinus 1's going to go into 2TC. So he's going to take the longer route to get there, but once he does, he's going to be very, very powerful. And of course, going for the Imperial Hippodrome, which is going to empower up... Oh, don't say... How many sacred sites have we got here? We got 1 sacred site, 2 sacred sites, 3 sacred sites. There's got to be a 4th. You know the rules. There's always a 4th. I've just realized we've got a lot of stone in the middle of the map here, don't we? It's not quite the stone map, the same one that we once saw, but there is a lot of stone. A lot more than you would normally see. Gosh, it kind of makes me a little bit relieved, the fact that that they've not put a whole bunch of stone in here. You guys remember what happened last time with the stone map? I remember. I'll never forget. I'll be 86 years old with Alzheimer's, dementia, all the neurodegenerate diseases under the sun, and I'll still remember what happened when you put 384,000 stone on a map. I will never forget. I will never forget you. Anyway, we got Knights now starting to come out, but not really looking to get mobile with them just yet for Vortex. Let's take a look at what's behind Vortex's base, because this is a oh, have a look at this. We got heavy spearmen on the opening here. I do like this from Baltoon, being very aggressive Beastie. Unfortunately, with a high trade house, Vill's going to come out. He's got the Kremlin that's going to try and guard this up. Vils may potentially fight. Indeed, they do. Also going to be calling in the militia here. I was going to call them the Rus tributes, but I'm like, no, wait, he's playing Rus. They're not Rus tributes. So Beastie's struggling early on here, trying to get this landmark up. Incredibly important it gets up. Obviously, if he's delayed, he'd have to potentially cancel it, and that's going to hurt him, especially if there's damage done. But now we start to see more sacred sites being taken in the middle of the map. Of course, CSO only doing it for gold, as they always say. But look at the amount of heavy spearmen that we've got here. This could be bad for Beastie. Now, keep in mind, even though he's doing quite well on points, he still needs to do his best and put his best foot forward in this game. And now the response to heavy spearmen is going to be Knights. The age up comes through. Beastie sitting on 54 villages compared to Baltoon, who's only on 27. So despite the fact that he's on a higher vill count, he is struggling here. A lot of this is going to be these fishing ships here. And now we hear those sacred sites being taken. It's not quite all of them just yet. But Beastie struggling here early on, under pressure. Meanwhile, we've got more pressure that's coming out. We got ourselves a little bit of an elephant rush. A Delhi on Ayyubid situation. Wham 01 looking to clean the lobby of Marine Lord nice and early in this game. Both players committing to a little bit of aggression. In fact, this is quite a lot of aggression. He's also pulling Vils here. He wants to get this. Now, keep in mind, he's in the feudal age. So naturally, he's recognized, hey, there's a big opportunity to potentially pick up some points here. If we can get first blood on Marine Lord, if we can get the first kill, as well as get that feudal age kill, there could be massive potential. Now, he's got the war elephant out. Marine Lord's trying to clean him out of his house. He's going to bring it in nice and close. Throws the Wallalol down. There's villagers underneath here as well. He's got to go for the conversion. He's taken the villagers. I don't think he realized Wham-O-One's just lost a huge amount of villagers right now. The Vil's going to turn around and repair. All of the units being taken out. Wham-O-One almost certainly going to be the first one eliminated from this game. And meanwhile, oh Lord, now the Sharks have come. Now the Sharks have arrived. Oh, Wham, what have you done? More units in here. Elephant also turning towards those knights. No chance of another Wallalol coming through here. Marine Lord's trying his best to hold on in this game. The Tughlag Dynasty, a civilization not known for its strength, let's just put it that way, is struggling once again in this game. Keep in mind, we do have potential impact coming from other Sharks across the lobby. Marine Lord holding on for dear life, and even Beastie getting in on the action, trying to just pick up any potential points he can. Everybody recognizes that, hey, there's an opportunity here, and we got to make it. We got to take it. King makes it across here. Wham-O-One gets the king out to the Tughlag fort. Holds on for a little bit longer as the town center about to go down. Keep in mind, he's got that second landmark there that you can either pick up or you can come down towards the Tughlag fort. But look at the amount of Vils that are here as well. Vortex bringing out everything. They know how important these first bloods are, as we've got another landmark that finally goes down. Look at the heavy spears. He's just going to focus this down. Of course, you can play around and try and take out the Tughlag fort, then take out the king, or you can just go for these extra points right here. And if you can take out Wham, that's going to be a massive boost, and Baltoon recognizes that. Not only will you get that kill, you'll also get first blood. First player eliminated from the lobby, incredibly important. And now focusing this down, you can see Beastie on standby here, maybe looking to throw some last torches towards this. Keep in mind, the king still sits inside the Tughlag fort, holding for the moment, and back towards the heavy spears. It looks like almost certainly it is going to be points given over to Baltoon, as Wham-O-One is the first player eliminated from this semi-final. King towards the south. Baltoon picks up the extra points, may potentially pick up the extra pop as well. And now Beastie, he's alleviated a little bit of stress taken off him. He thinks to himself, thank God, that's one of them down. Oh, I got a little bit worried there. But it's okay. It's all right. We knew the king wasn't in play. We knew what was happening. And look at the heavy spears. Dude, these heavy spears are kind of wild. He's going for a second one. He's going for another one. Excuse me, is anybody going to stop Baltoon? Baltoon is making a lot of heavy spears. He's got no fishing boats. King is out. We saw the king out for a second. He's going to try for the Wallalol. Oh, he's body blocking him. Oh, he's going to steal all of them. Oh, he turns the tide again. Marine Lord takes the title of Wallalol God. Definitely with a 2 back-to-back Wallalols right there to save himself again. There ain't no way. Hold on. They deleted. Oh, he Wallalol'd them, but they deleted. Oh, they converted. Oh, he converted them, but they got deleted. It was a very solid delete right there from Baltoon, recognizing that they were going to be converted. He deleted them, so technically they got converted. It's one of the things that happens with the delayed deleting. So you've seen like the villager jump in the town center, and then it dies while it's in the town center from a ranged attack. Exact same thing. He issued the delete command. It goes off. Conversion happens. They get converted, but the delete command's already been issued. That's what we've seen right here. Let's check in over on the rest of the map, make sure that we're not missing anything. Are all these kings safe? We got to check in with them and make sure that we're not missing out any potential king snipes, not in this game. And now Beastie wanting to get on the board. Beastie in the castle age, so this will be just the 1 point for him at the moment. But we can see the influence he's having in this game already. Meanwhile, towards the south, that second town center is pumping out villagers now. For Corvinus 1, he's up to 70 villagers. And one thing to note is we haven't really had much mobility coming out just yet from our Golden Horde player. He is going to Imperial Age, though, and he's got a lot of resources in the bank. Where are those units? How many has he got out at the moment? Not a whole lot. He's only got 11 military units out. Imperial Agent now coming through for Lucifer, going up, with no surprise, the stone armies. How many relics did he pick up? It's actually not easy to see because he's got relic Uvus, and I don't think they display on the UI. So just be aware of that. Now we got big armies. Big armies towards that west side. Huge amount of units. Crossbows together with the Knights for Beastie. Archers with villagers. And Knights. King out of water. King out of water. He's making a bit of a run to it. Has he got transport ships? He may not, but he's got a gate. He's going to try and get it, but it looks like in the end, the kill's going to go over to Vortex. He's going to take it, and Beastie goes out 0-2 for the moment against his nearest neighbors. But good news, there's still more. There's still plenty more where that came from, Beastie. You're going to be fine, my brother. We've got a little bit of spears that are in here. Second landmark now coming up as well for the Knights Templar. And down towards the south. Oh, they're beginning to build. Oh, you know what? This is scary. The Ayyubids. Dude, the Ayyubids are so scary, man. Have we got Imperial Age through for him? Yeah, he's got Imperial Age. I think they're all doing this, aren't they? Yeah. Rushing military wing, basically, is what we've seen the Ayyubid meta become. And then you get the Elite Desert Raider upgrade, and you just spam Desert Raiders and Culverin if you need them. Bro, it is insanity. And you can see Corvinus 1 struggling right here to deal with that fact. King is going for a bit of a run over towards the fortress. And yeah, this is a bit of a tough spot for Corvinus 1 because he's started off 2 TC and he's going to now deal with the Ayyubid player. The Ayyubid player, kind of scary. Like, one of the best units against the Ayyubids, I would say, is the Tughlag. Just because you can just ram it at the opponent. You don't care if it dies. It's cheap. It's affordable. It's got a lot of health. Throw it at the enemy. If they die, they die. It's fine. They're so cheap. They're replaceable. I don't know what it's like with the current Tughlags, though. I'll say that right now. It could be terrible. It could be terrible. All right, Vortex finally... Oh, that was a feudal age kill right there for Vortex. Very smart by Vortex to actually stay feudal, pick up the kill, and then look to castle. Definitely makes a lot of sense. It's going to guarantee that he picks up a second point for that kill. So a very smart move there. So at this stage, you know, every little point matters. Every little point counts. And now we got our heavy spears in the middle, starting to struggle up against the Golden Horde units. Elite upgrades have come through for these units, but the heavy spearmen naturally doing what they do best. Rus tributes also arriving towards the middle, but just getting chased away by the heavy spears. Meanwhile, down towards the south, Beastie now committing against his opponent, who was in the feudal age for a long time. And Beastie says, hey, you know what? You stole that kill away from me a little bit earlier on my friend Marine Lord. Now I'm going to return the favor. Now I'm going to take you out. And Beastie, of course, we also see what's happening in his base, but he's going to make a decision. Do I just commit and try and grab the points right here? Or do I try and return to my base against an elite army? And we already know the answer. As the landmarks are under attack, the King's out. He's going to try and make it to the transport ship. He's come out the wrong side of the town center, but he should be okay as long as there's no ranged units. King, jumps in the transport ship. Beastie under siege. Beastie under siege. Beastie under siege. Beastie goes down. Vortex survives for just a little bit longer. And you could see the consequence of bringing that King out the front instead of popping him out the back is that, unfortunately, he loses his life before he can take the King, and it's just an unfortunate circumstance. Beastie misses not one kill on Wham, not a second kill over here, but also misses a third kill on Vortex, and now look who's coming to clean it up. Well, it isn't Balturn, and we got ourselves a chaotic game. Big Wallalol in the middle. Fortress, rather keep getting thrown down. He's able to survive for the moment. You can see the amount of Radari that's here for Corvinus 1 is ridiculous. A lot of units in here. Second Wallalol attempt coming through for CSO. Corvinus 1 still easily able to defend. And now more reinforcements make... Oh, excuse me. Apologies. We've missed our first King kill in the semifinals. We'll have to take a drink for that one. Look, we'll take a drink for that one after the game. We're drinking Red Bull, though, so it's not going to be that bad. And look at this. Corvinus 1 is absolutely getting demolished. I'm sure a lot of players would have looked at this and thought, what the heck is going on? But I think this is just an Ayyubid diff. I genuinely think this civilization may be one of the best FFA civs that there is, simply because of Imperial Age. The military wing is ridiculous. Reinforcements. Basically, you've got access to free units, 7 free units every 2 minutes, constantly coming through. And now we're not going to miss a second one. Don't worry. Do not fret. And now the Golden Horde begins to take over the map. Lucifer, he was uncontested from the beginning of this game. And now the numbers really begin to compound here. There's the King. He gets the surround. He gets eliminated. Balturn taken out. Lucifer 7 with another kill. He's taken out 3. 3? Beastie? This one? Excuse me, Vortex. Beastie, Vortex. they got to work together. That's the other thing. And CSO has been fighting with Corvinus 1. So CSO and Corvinus 1 have to start working together to deal with this threat. And it's so hard because Corvinus 1's got to go through CSO. And you know CSO's thinking about that every single second that he's not actively dying, by the way. CSO did try and make a push against his opponent. CSO's in a decent spot here if he can keep it together. Needs to move the king back towards the town center, but you can see there's a bit of a blockade. Worst case scenario, you pop him out the bottom. Corvinus 1 probably aware that even if he had an opportunity to snipe here, he doesn't want to go for it. This is not the kind of game where you want to go for this cheeky snipe. You have to take out your opponent here. There's the king. There's the king. Needs to keep that king safe. You can see him just chilling at the back. Repairs did come through. Keshik's fall back for the moment. And now we've got that golden horde being beaten up. So now the question becomes, will they work together to take him out? We've got only a single TC in the north. Lucifer, of course, not famous for making second TCs. I'll say that right now. A beautiful little spot that he's got. His own private island. Relics coming back as well. CSO with 6 relics. Look at the potential for Walla Lols here. Honestly, what I'd love to see is 6 Dervish just kept... Oh, he's got a 7th relic as well. I would love to see all of the... I'd love to see more Dervish kept inside. Is he really going to try and finish off Corvinus 1? Oh, this is not a smart move. I don't think this is a smart move, right? Like, you've got 2 players in the lobby. Neither of them have got kills against a player that's got 3 kills in the lobby. So, let's see whether or not Corvinus 1's able to convince him. In this position, Lucifer, realistically, because that, you know, he wanted to try and go for a tempo win, which is definitely a smart move in that situation. If you can kill the keep, you kill the king, then you just go and crush Corvinus 1. The game's over. That's it. You've won the game. You got a lot of points going through to the grand finals. You're celebrating. But in these circumstances here, now that that's happened, the best move is to probably just chill out. Add in a second, probably, honestly, at 350 pop, maybe even a 3rd TC is not a bad idea. Keeps massing up units. And one thing to just be very cautious of is the fact that you're up against these Desert Raiders. So whatever unit you think is going to do well against them, probably Mangonels would be the most effective against them, just because they're kind of like Mangudai in a way, the way that they group up. But we do have a little bit of a naval presence out here as well for Lucifer. Now the Desert Raiders do make their way across, so it looks like Corvinus 1 has indeed whispered, and you can even see him in the chat saying, "So are we chill now, CSO?" And CSO saying, "Good." So CSO has absolutely decided to turn the tables, and he's got lots of room to kite here if he wants to go for it. Incendiary arrows has come through. There could be demo ships to the back. Keep that in mind. We don't see any of them out just yet, but he's got the opportunity for it if he wants to take it. Zabek now coming out as well for CSO. CSO looking to get his feet wet on the water with the dock over towards the little crossing. A lot of units here for him. He's inside the base of Lucifer. Let's see whether or not he opts to do some damage. And to the south of the map, Corvinus 1, keep in mind, no kills just yet. He's always got the opportunity to snipe out this keep. This is a bad move if he was to do this. I think the best thing that Corvinus 1 can do is set up. And he knows this. He needs to set up to potentially take out CSO in the event CSO takes out Lucifer, because he doesn't really know what's happening. Not getting a lot of communication. Not seeing a lot in the chat. But we obviously know exactly what's happening. A huge amount of Desert Raiders now retreating away from this horde of golden units. Lucifer, the economy not really booming just yet. One of the things that I love to see players do after they pick up 1 or 2 kills is throw down those town centers. Just guarantee that they've got that economy to keep up with the military in the late game. And now the Desert Raiders going to start melting away at the boats on the shoreline. Corvinus 1 going to make a move around. So not even going to be opting for a cheeky, sneaky, hold it strategy. Instead, actually going to be attempting to help out actively, which is definitely the right call in this situation. I don't think CSO is going to be able to 1v1 against a player as powerful as Lucifer. We can already see that population beginning to boom up to 260 population, and it makes it very difficult to 2v1 against him, just because you've got to go through the base of his ally in this game essentially. Numbers still building up. Zabek's also looking good. He's up to 3 Zabeks here. That'll be effective against any potential siege that comes out. We can see now a lot of Raxes coming in here for Lucifer. Spearman number starting to rise up to 32 spears, up to 38 spears. Still plenty of population to play with. Zabeks working together with the Desert Raiders. There's the demo ship. There's the demo ship. There's the demo ships. Whoa. Whoa. Okay. All right. All right. We're playing with fire quite literally here. CSO very fortunately spots it out before Lucifer does. Lucifer maybe going a little bit too far down the river. And now Corvinus 1 going to be moving across as well. A lot of units in here. Big infantry ball. I'd love to see him bring up villages as well, just so he's got a bit of a forward base. Maybe throw down a siege workshop, so we can potentially access some siege on the go. Karash is getting taken out here. You can see a lot of Karash getting sent to the front line. What's the plural of Karash? Is it Karash? I think it might be. I think it could be the plural of Karash. Could be Karash. Now, what's Corvinus 1 doing behind this? We need to always stay aware and stay alert of Corvinus 1. This is the other thing to note, is these guys... Oh, gosh, I tell you what, that's a big army. They're going to try and take it out. Demo ships from the west across the crossing. He brings it in the bay. Oh, it's beautiful right now. One demo ship. Oh, he's annihilated half the army in the blink of an eye. The demo ships obliterate everything. Come back towards the Zebeks. They hit him. And now... Corvinus 1 is their only hope. He's going to attempt to snipe by the looks of it, but Lucifer 7 demonstrating some absolutely immaculate control in that little engagement. Oh, that's a big army. I don't know about that one, Corvinus 1. I don't know about that one, Corvinus 1. That is a huge army that is coming out. And keep in mind, he's got those reinforcements, meaning that he's getting the extra unit coming through. So he's basically increased his economy by 50% here. And Corvinus 1 just gets eaten alive in the blink of an eye. Not to mention that, unfortunately for CSO, he's lost half of his army to demo ships alone. No chance of elimination coming through just yet for Lucifer. And now Lucifer, now you made him mad. Now you poked the bear. How do you potentially take him out? I think a drop makes a lot of sense if you can come up here, but there are demo ships. And drops are notoriously slow. You could look to potentially come over this side and build. That's an option for you, and then snipe this out. But even then, there's demo ships in the water, waiting. And now Lucifer 7 begins the push. Oh, more demo ships. They make good connection as well. He just moves them in. Gets a couple more. He's chased them all away. CSO sitting on 58 Desert Raiders. There's more Keshiks to the name of Lucifer. And that's just Keshiks. That's not even including the Karash. You can see he's got so many of them out now. Or rather, the Tughlag, rather. 412 health. This civilization is still cracked in Imperial Age. I mean, it also might just be the population space talking. I'll say that right now. He had a great spawn. He had access to the water. He had good tempo coming out of the gates. King is on the move. He knows that his opponent doesn't have ranged units, so he can stick the king on top of the wall and should be able to remain safe as long as there's no pointy boys that somehow get up on there. Now Corvinus 1 in the south has started to rebuild. Vils are on the move. I think he might attempt to take out the king. Honestly, the best thing Corvinus 1 can do here is try and snipe out the king of CSO, just so he can, at the very least, get a point. You know, I go back to those famous words of Beastie as a Wallaloll attempt on the south side happens, where Beastie says, you know, I'm kind of big, guys. You should probably just kill each other just so you guys get points. I think that's honestly the best thing that Corvinus 1 could do right here. He's got ranged units. He could potentially do it. But one thing to note is we've got landmarks in this game. 22,000 health on CSO's House of Wisdom. Town center is here, 7,000 health. He's moving along the west side. I think Corvinus... Oh, he's brought back the king towards the town center, recognizing that Corvinus 1 is here as well. And Corvinus 1 says, damn it, man. Damn it. Where's the king gone? King's popped into the keep. Corvinus 1 just going to try and do a little bit of a bypass strategy. I don't know what the chances are of success. Another Wallaloll attempt in the middle. This could honestly turn it. Corvinus 1 going to try and help out right now. But you can see just how many units are in here. Lucifer 7 with a massive army. Struggling to make any progress, but the army's just so big. Lucifer 7 continues to ram it in, to jam it in. King down here towards the south, but he's able to overwhelm them. It's too hard. They can't progress. They can't make it any further. Look at the amount of units. Look at the amount of units. And he's just going to right-click. He's going to focus down the town center. And once this town center goes down, I don't think there's any way you're coming out of this alive. Corvinus 1 knows it. He's on 200 pop. His opponent about to be on 400. He's going to try and snipe the king. He's thinking, okay, if I can get the king. No, he's not even thinking if I can get the king. He just surrenders immediately. Types in the G's. Wow. Okay. Lucifer 7 off to a good start in the semi-finals, ladies and gentlemen. beautiful spawn for him. And honestly, it doesn't necessarily come down to the fact he had a good spawn. It comes down to the fact that everybody else had terrible spawns. We saw players, even like CSO, do relatively well in that game, despite the fact that his spawn was bad. So, yeah, just an unfortunate situation where he had that perfect mix of isolation, tempo in the early economy, and a great civ to top it all off. So, in the end, he's able to come out on top. Let's take a look at what the leaderboard looks like after this game. I want to get confirmation from our admins first that the leaderboard is up to date. Okay, so I'm getting confirmation it's not up to date at this stage. Give me a second here, YouTube folks. I'm going to pause the video for you now. All right, it's taken some time, but they have finally managed to fix up the leaderboard. Let's take a look and see where the players have fallen for the moment. Okay, all the way up in second place after that game is Lucifer. He has rocketed up. I think he was probably sitting down towards the lower half of the board. Now up to second place. We've also had a little bit of movement from Baltoon. I think he's gone up by a position or two. So the pack is starting to thin a little bit towards this top side. So that is where we currently sit. Keep in mind, it's the top 8 that is going to be going through to the grand finals. So it's incredibly important they put their best foot forward in these games. That was game 1 of the semi-finals. Let's take a look and see how they do in game 2. Thank you for watching. We'll catch you in the next one.